Lost Evo with 1,000 bits says, "Hey Jayne, loving your content. Wish I could watch your streams more. You have any tips for a friend who can't because he's mute? He's awesome with Ana, but can't shot call and struggles to leave plat. And what's your opinion with players who try to comp with disabilities in general? Power to them, man. You know, like, it doesn't really matter who's on the other side. Just do your best. You know, there's people who listen to music who play. There's people who don't talk at all. There's, you know, it's quite frequent for like women for not wanting to shot call. I wouldn't see mute as like a disability. You know, you can still communicate it in other ways. Like, you know, you can spam, you can spray, you can wave, you can jump. Like, you know, if you want to be a maker of strategy or something, you can either type or there's a lot of ways that you can communicate. But if it's too much effort, you can also just play really well and you can get to Grandmaster without communicating. So, yeah, just take it for what it is. Don't think of it as like a skill that you don't have to focus on. You just got to make the other skills that are in your control twice as good to compensate. You know, it's kind of like the old, you need game sense, positioning, and mechanics. You only need one of those at an expert level to get to Grandmaster. You need two of them to get to top 500, and you need to be a master in all of them to get to pro. But yeah, so you can get to Grandmaster just off of expert mechanics, or great positioning, or great game sense. Game sense is going to be less because that'll be more communication. So just be really good at positioning or really good at mechanics. That's how you're going to do it. But Shroud is only mechanics, and we saw that he was plat. He just didn't put in time to learn the game. Okay, like Shroud's a great player. If Shroud actually wanted to make it to top 500, Shroud could make it to top 500. Overwatch is a game with a lot of knowledge required, and you can't skip that period of learning. Like I haven't played ranked seriously since last December, and you're seeing how long it's taking me to get the skills back and the awareness back and things like that. Overwatch is a game with a huge amount of awareness required, knowledge required, and practice. Like, yeah, Shroud would get there if he wanted to and if he put the time in, 100%. It's like Shroud placed plat because he didn't have the game knowledge. It's not that he didn't have the mechanics. So what would you say is currently, other than interest, keeping Shroud from top 500? Time in the game? Like, climbing is actually takes time. Yeah. How do you deal with tilting? I'll elaborate. Give me a second to type. I don't tilt. Like, it's very, very rare that I tilt. And if I do, I stop playing immediately. You know, one of my rules is basically rage quit, right? If you're feeling rage, quit. You know, you should not have, like, you're playing a game. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be rewarding and fulfilling, you know, a satisfying thing. If you ever feel rage or anger or frustration or annoyance of the game, you should stop playing pretty much immediately. So it's like, have a strong mental. And one of the biggest things to do into that is, yeah, literally just rage quit. I would rather, if you're like having rage or anger issues, I would rather you exit out of the game than not enjoy it and make everyone else's experience leave. Just like, subscribe off, go outside, breathe some air, remember what the sun looks like, something like that. But the other thing is that people will usually get angry if their goal is to win every single game. If your goal is to win every single game, you're going to be unhappy and frustrated and angry 50% of the time. If your goal is to climb, then you should think about, if I play 10 games, I want to win 5 or more of them. And if you don't at the end of the 10, and you're like, oh, I only won 4, you're like, that's too bad. You know, but you can't have your happiness and your emotional state tied to each and every single game, because there are going to be factors of the game that simply are out of your control. And getting angry about things that are out of your control is completely huge waste of energy. So when I'm in these games, no matter how bad the game is, no matter how bad my team is, no matter what's going on, my goal when I'm playing Overwatch right now is to improve at the game. So I'm not like, I'm a little bit, I have the desire to be better. And I know that it's going to take time. I know it's going to take practice. And I know I'm going to make a lot of mistakes between here and the place that I want to be in terms of skill level. And that's what gets me through. It's like, I lost, that's fine. SR is temporary, skill is permanent. Right? It's like, I am trying to improve my skill. No matter if my SR goes up or down, doesn't matter. Because I'm not at a point where I'm ready to perform for wins yet. I'm still learning. I'm still improving. I'm playing to improve. Doesn't matter if I'm losing. Doesn't matter if I'm winning. In fact, losing often gives me more information about what I need to do than wins does. If I'm winning, when I have no idea how to play Sigma, it probably means I'm being carried. If I'm losing, it's like, okay, what could I individually have done better? You know, it's one of those things. If you win, it's probably not because you didn't make mistakes. It's because your mistakes weren't punished. Losing, you probably made mistakes and they were probably punished. So I don't mind losing. You always learn more from losses. So just decide where your emotional state is tied. And if it's tied to the success or failure in each and every single game that you queue up for, you're probably setting yourself up for a mental, not fun time arena.